The core purpose of every incarnation is spiritual growth. The process of spiritual growth has two aspects. The inner aspect is about raising our consciousness. The outer aspect is about sharing our light with others through service. The most important key to raising consciousness is spiritual practice. Through consistent practice, we can access higher states of awareness that lead to peace, harmony, and joy. The previous video in this series explored the three essential spiritual practices: study, self-inquiry, and meditation. This video provides guidelines for cultivating a daily spiritual practice, which serves as a foundation for spiritual growth. Part 1. The importance of spiritual practice. A genuine spiritual practice raises your consciousness. Just as going to the gym strengthens your muscles, a spiritual practice strengthens your ability to manifest higher consciousness. If you have a religious background, it is essential to understand how spirituality differs from religion. Spirituality is about direct personal experience, not intellectual concepts. Merely reading many books or studying theology does not make one spiritual, because intellectual knowledge is no substitute for direct experience. Further, the promise of spirituality is in the here and now. The promise is not in the afterlife, as many religions want their followers to believe. From a scientific perspective, we must question untestable theories, such as a reward in the afterlife. Fortunately, spiritual practice is like learning to play a musical instrument. You will not achieve mastery overnight, but you can start seeing results within a few months to a few years. Just like practicing piano, the more you practice, the higher you elevate your consciousness. Understanding higher consciousness. What is higher consciousness? Fortunately, higher consciousness is not a philosophical or a moral concept, but a mathematical one. This breakthrough in understanding stages of consciousness comes from the research by Dr. David Hawkins, author of Power versus Force. Using kinesiology, Dr. Hawkins calibrated the map of consciousness and created a logarithmic scale for stages of evolution. The scale spans from 0 to 1,000, the highest possible human consciousness. The lower states on the scale resist the flow of life. For example, shame, the lowest on the scale, causes people to commit suicide, either directly or by neglecting to enhance life. From this outright rejection of life, the scale of lower consciousness advances through states such as guilt, fear, anger, and pride at 175. The first leap in evolution comes at level 200, where consciousness begins to embrace life. Higher faculties such as courage, acceptance, and reason become available at levels from 200 to 400. The states above 500 make the human journey one of joy, purpose, and contribution. At the highest level on the scale is enlightenment, our eventual goal on the human journey. A key insight from Dr. Hawkins is that, on average, most people increase their level of consciousness only by about 5 points per incarnation. It means that to reach the state of love, at 500, they would need about 100 incarnations. Fortunately, it is possible to accelerate spiritual evolution dramatically through dedicated spiritual practice. Markers of spiritual progress. Here are 3 markers of higher consciousness in daily life. The first marker is a state of peace and harmony that you experience both within yourself and with everything around you. This state of peace does not result from anything happening outside of you, but arises naturally from within. The second marker is compassion for your fellow beings from a feeling of oneness with life. Finally, the third marker is generosity toward others because you feel you have more than enough. On the other hand, the markers of lower consciousness are fear and anger. Trapped in endless greed due to fear and deep insecurity, you'll feel compelled to accumulate more and control others. Thinning of the veil. While you experience yourself as a person in physical reality, a non-physical part of you exists in a higher dimension. That part is your higher self. A barrier exists between you and the higher self called the veil. It is there so that you can play the earthly game being fully immersed in physical reality. Spiritual practice causes thinning of the veil, facilitating better communication between you and your higher self. As a result, you live a more guided and purposeful life. As the veil becomes thinner, it is possible to glimpse your oneness with source energy. This experience is known as samadhi. There have been beings on our planet who lived in a permanent state of samadhi. Here is a picture of a sage in India. His real name is unknown, but he was called Nityananda, which means eternally in a state of bliss. Nityananda became enlightened at an early age and spent his life roaming India on foot. Part 2. Creating a spiritual practice. At the core, spiritual practice is energetic work that connects the physical and non-physical dimensions. Here are the two components of doing this work efficiently. The sacred space. Spiritual practice anchors non-physical energy in physical space. That is why it's recommended that you dedicate a space exclusively to spiritual practice. A separate room is best, but you can use a portion of a room if that is not possible. To enhance the space, you can use objects that you consider holy, including images or figures of enlightened beings such as Buddha, Jesus, Krishna, and others. Honor the space as sacred by keeping it clean and orderly. Time. It's essential to devote regular, uninterrupted time to practice daily. According to yoga philosophy, the best time for spiritual practices is between 3 to 6 a.m. This time is known as Brahma Muhurta, the time of energy of creation. Since this is a transition time from sleep to waking up, your connection to the higher realms is the strongest. But if that's too early for you, don't worry. You can meditate right after waking up. Doing another short meditation right before sleep is recommended, which connects you to higher energies during sleep. Part 3. Living a spiritual lifestyle. Rapid spiritual growth requires a spiritually aligned lifestyle, which has 3 keys: being mindful of what you put in your body and mind, movement, and routine. Food. What you eat affects not only the physical body, but also the energy body. It is best to eat light, natural, and fresh food. Such food has high spiritual energy known as prana or chi. Stop eating before you feel full, especially at dinner. This is because digestion depletes vital energy, which is needed for spiritual progress. Foods to avoid. Avoid foods that lower your vibration. They fall under 3 categories: meat, intoxicants, and processed foods. Meat. Eating animals lowers your vibration and causes various health problems that have been well documented in research. If you have been consuming meat for a while, eliminating it from your diet abruptly may be difficult. We recommend eliminating it gradually in 3 phases. First, stop eating mammal meat, such as beef and pork. Then stop eating poultry meat, such as chicken and turkey. And lastly, stop eating fish. These phases are based on the principle that the more evolved an animal, the more toxic its meat becomes for human consumption. Intoxicants. Psychoactive substances, particularly alcohol and hard drugs, lower your vibration. Unfortunately, alcohol has become a common feature of our social life due to ceaseless advertising from alcohol manufacturers. Processed food. These types of food don't have much nutrition and have chemicals that make them last longer. They're not good for your health, so avoid them. Information. Just as physical food affects your physical health, the information you consume affects your mental health. The things you read, watch, and listen to influence your state of mind and your consciousness. To stay at higher consciousness, seek out books, lectures, and teachings from individuals with high consciousness who have dedicated themselves to uplifting humanity. Avoid consuming content from mass media, which makes money by drawing people into negative states of fear, powerlessness, and anger. Movement. The body is the physical vessel that houses your consciousness, and therefore, taking care of it should be a priority. Engaging in physical activities facilitates the movement of energy within the body, which is crucial for maintaining balance and harmony. Practicing exercises such as yoga, tai chi, and qigong are excellent ways to promote physical health and spiritual growth. These practices involve mindful movements, breathing techniques, and meditation, which promote mental and physical well-being. They also reduce stress, anxiety, and depression, which hinder spiritual growth. In addition to structured exercises, walking in nature is a great way to connect with universal energies. Nature has a way of grounding us and reminding us of the interconnectedness of all things. Walking in a natural setting, such as a park or forest, can help us clear our minds, rejuvenate our spirits, and connect with the dance of life around us. Routine? Establishing a consistent routine is crucial for achieving long-term spiritual growth. You can begin by creating a structured ritual for both morning and night. Developing a nighttime ritual is the most crucial part of your routine, since the quality of your sleep determines the quality of your day. Ayurveda recommends sleeping by 10 p.m. To treat sleep as sacred, create a pre-sleep ritual lasting an hour. Wind down during this time by avoiding electronic screens and engaging in relaxing activities such as reading, listening to soothing music, or journaling. Equally important is your morning routine, which can set the tone for your day. Here are 3 steps for a morning routine. 1. When you wake up, set an intention to focus on positive energy throughout the day. You could say, I intend to live a life that is aligned with my highest purpose and is full of joy. Let me channel positive energy throughout the day. 2. Meditate. 3. Start your day with a sense of purpose and peace. Resources. If you're committed to cultivating a daily spiritual practice, Children of Infinity has a dedicated online community space where you can download resources and get support for your spiritual practices. Join our free community today. Exercises. In this video, we explored how to cultivate a spiritual practice. To incorporate what you have learned, do the following exercises. 1. Create a pre-sleep ritual by choosing a designated time and a set of activities to engage in before retiring to bed. 2. Create a morning ritual of setting an intention, meditation, and mindful movement. 3. Prepare a space exclusively for spiritual practices. Enhance the space with sacred objects and start using it daily.